fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World. Today we're here in Stockholm, Sweden, and today we're going to give you some of the don'ts that you should know when you do come here to Stockholm, because this is a beautiful city with the archipelago islands out there and the museums and the people. My gosh, that might be the most beautiful part of coming here. But there are some things you need to know so you don't make mistakes when you are here. And I think one of the don'ts I have for you is just don't take out money from the ATM when you fly in. Because honestly, there's absolutely no reason for you to have Swedish crowns when you are here. You don't need cash. You can pay with credit card literally everywhere. It is insane. Like, there's places that don't even take cash. You're like, cash? No, I don't want that. We need card. Like, give me a tap card, give me a chip card, give me something else. Use the Swift thing, use your thing on your phone. But cash, you don't need to do it, so don't even bother taking it out. Save yourself the time and money. And another thing you don't need to worry about is really knowing any Swedish, because the people here speak English so well, you don't have to worry about trying to study up before you go to have any conversation or to order your food, because the people speak English super well. But don't get me wrong, if you can learn how to say like tack, which is thank you, they will appreciate it. And if you are here learning Swedish, I'll tell you right now, you'll practice with them and they'll literally just switch straight to English going, it's just easier if we do English. But the thing is, they're good English. Don't be surprised if you don't get to hear it too often, because the locals here, they kind of keep to themselves. They're kind of a bit reserved, not like crazy reserved, but they just don't tend to talk to strangers much. I mean, I think they really had a really good presentation on stranger danger in school when they were kids here, because they don't really talk much to people that they don't know. Now, I'll say this. Once you get them talking, they'll talk a lot and they'll be super friendly and super helpful. I mean, this is a big city and the people are super cool when you talk to them. But the thing is, getting them to talk, don't expect that to happen too soon. Now, a bit of a scheduling don't I have for you here in Stockholm is, if you can avoid it, maybe don't come in October, November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, those 6 months. Why? Because it's cold. It's dark, it's rainy, it's snowy, it's depressing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, when you get out and it's like, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the wintertime and it's dark, it kind of sucks. Like, it's kind of depressing. It's not very fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you about it. Like, that's one of those big things I say. That's why I want to say this is don't pass up coming in the summer, because it's depressing and dark and unloving as it is here in the wintertime. It is fantastic in the summer. The parks come alive. Like, everybody's eating dinner outside. Everyone's at the bars. They're getting in the beer gardens. They're having a good time with their friends. They're having fika outside. I mean, it's just so much fun in the summer. Midsummer, oh my God, don't miss that when you're here, because I mean, that is a fantastic time. But the difference between the winter and the summer when you're here is insane. So try not to come in the winter time. Come in the summer. You don't want to miss that out. All the festivals and stuff going on. It's just a fun time. Like, I actually brought students here and taught here in the summer one year. It was just an experience you wouldn't want to miss, okay? Because it's so much better, all right? Now, I will say this. Don't worry if you do come in the wintertime, because there are so many museums you can come and see when you're here. Like, yes, there is an ABBA Museum, you can see that. Modern Art Museum that you can go see. The National Museum, the Swedish History Museum. I mean, it's like museum after museum after museum. I mean, it's the capital. They have so much stuff here, so much history, so much art. Heck, you can even go to the Fotografiska. I know I'm messing up my Swedish. Remember, I can say tack and that's about it. But there's like photography museum that's here. I mean, oh, you can go out to the palace, the Drottningholm Palace, which is, it's a little bit out of town. You can see that if you want to see the palace there. The Royal Palace here, which I'll talk about in a bit, but there's so many museums. The Medieval Museum that's underneath the Royal Palace. I mean, Skansen, the outdoor museum. I mean, there is so much to do, though I don't think the Skansen Museum would be good in the wintertime. But I will say there's so many museums and activities that you can do when it is winter that you can come here for a great weekend break in the winter too. So don't be scared if you go, Mark, I can only go in January. It's okay. You'll still have a fun time with all the things going on. I mean, there's even the Nobel Prize Museum you can see when you're here and you're walking around. You don't want to go into stuff, even in bad weather, seeing the beautiful buildings here. You can't beat it here in Stockholm. And this place is just gorgeous. Stuff to do, good weather and bad weather, still worth coming to see. Though in all honesty, the Nobel Prize Museum is a bit underwhelming. Sorry, can't lie. The thing is though, if you can come in the summer, one of the things I really recommend is don't skip out on going and exploring the islands, the archipelago that's here, and even just taking the ferries around or taking a boat trip or a sailing trip. going out and exploring, like going to like jump in the water, just sailing around, just enjoying the water that's here, because the city is built on all these different islands, so you can go out to different islands. Some you can walk to, some you ferry to, but honestly, it's one of those things you're like, wow, the nature here is just gorgeous, and how the city kind of, the canals and everything kind of work together, and all the beautiful pictures you get from the, from the bridges and everywhere. I mean, it's just a fantastic experience. But let's be honest. You're coming to Stockholm because you want to see the postcard shots, right? You want to see the old town and the royal palace. Yes, I mean, when you go to Gamlestan, the old town, I mean, it is gorgeous. Like, you see the colored buildings lined up. You see all the things like, wow, that's beautiful. You tour the royal palace, like, this is super cool. You see the shops when you're walking along the streets, the cobbled streets. I mean, it's gorgeous. Like, you can't not say Stockholm isn't gorgeous, especially the old town. It's fantastic. And the thing is, Old Town is beautiful and going through there, but honestly, there's pedestrian streets, great shopping, all kinds of stuff you can do. But my two favorite museums, and ones I have specific don'ts for you to not miss out on. One is, don't skip out on going to Skansen. That is the outdoor museum, the open air museum that has buildings from the past. You learn about, Swedish history and just like how things were done back in the day. The bakery guy was hilarious. I mean, there's so many great experiences you can have when you're here, but that Skansen is one of those things. It's an outdoor activity that I really, really recommend you take in and do. If you're in the spring and summertime, definitely do it. Other times, I don't know. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you should, but that's one. Skansen is actually a really fun thing, because when you come by, they have all these kind of workshops, so you can see how the goldsmith worked and how the bakers worked. They bake bread and stuff, so you can actually have that. But it's really cool to kind of take in, and they have all kinds of different things you can see when you're here, so it is really nice to do. If you got kids or you're an older kid, you want to go and see things, it's actually kind of a fun thing. Kind of takes me back to the 5th grade field trips kind of stuff you do, but it is well worth it. There are actually places you can eat here as well, so you want some traditional Swedish food, you have that too. So so Skansen, don't miss out on it. Another don't I have for you here in Stockholm: if you're going to be taking the escalator down to get to the metro, subway, stand on the right. People run on the left. It's the only time you might see an upset Swede is if you block their path down the escalator to the metro here in Stockholm. Another thing I want you to know is, don't think that the Vasa ship was as famous and important as awesome as its museum is, because the Vasa is this huge warship that literally sank on its maiden voyage. Like, didn't get out of the harbor, just sank. But it's so famous because they found it and brought it up, and it was such great condition, they built a museum for it. And honestly, it is one of the best museums around. Like, how well it's done, I highly recommend you go there. I mean, I've been here, I don't know, like 6 times, and I've gone all 6 times. Now let's get to some of our kind of background information you need to know. One is about the airport. I want to tell you this: don't forget to check and see which airport you're going to, because there's multiple airports when you're flying in here. Probably you're going to fly into Arlanda, which is the main airport, if I would say, if you're going to be coming in here. One thing I'll say for any of the airports, don't take the taxi, and the taxis here are expensive in Stockholm, just giving you a heads up for that. But some of the airports are kind of far away, so it's going to be very costly. So, don't skip out on taking like the Arlanda Express from the airport in. Yes, it's pricier than the bus, but it's cheaper than the taxi. But it's 18 minutes, literally 18 minutes from the airport to the downtown train station, the central station. I mean, and it's comfortable, it's clean, you don't have to worry about anything. That's what's nice. And that's another thing I think I need to mention is, you don't have to worry about your safety when you're here in Stockholm. Yes, there are issues. Late night, wow, shocking. There's fights and stuff that happen late night, and people are drinking on the weekends. Shocking, right? But in general, you don't have to worry too much. Yes, you have to use your usual common traveler sense, like watch out for pickpockets and don't fall for these things and don't leave your stuff out. But in general, this is a really safe city, so you don't have to worry about enjoying yourself when you're here. And though I just said don't expect it to be cheap, I want you to know this. Don't think that Stockholm is going to be too expensive for you to visit. It's not that bad. I mean, if I compare it to major cities in the US, it's like the same price. I mean, it's significantly cheaper than going to London. So honestly, I mean, though it's not going to be a cheap vacation, don't think it's too expensive to come, because Stockholm is really worth it. And there's a lot of stuff you can do that's for free to go around and enjoy. So don't be scared off by the price, because it's not that bad. Now, another public transportation don't I have for you, and that is don't get too close to the people on the train or the bus or the tram or in the line or wherever, your metro, whatever possible public transportation there could be. Don't get near the people. Actually, don't get near the people anyway, because here in Sweden, they like to have a nice bubble, okay? They like their personal space. And if there's space open on a bus or on anything, you don't sit right next to somebody. You go to that open space. That's how it is. I know that's like kind of unusual things everywhere, but here they really do like their space. And man, don't talk to the people on the public transportation either. They don't. I know, like, for me, I like to say hi to people. I'm like, hey, how are you? How's a great day today? Oh, the weather sucks. Nope. Don't do small talk. Don't do it. Not on the buses, not on the metro, nothing, okay? No subway, nothing, okay? Just don't. But I will say there's one time you don't want to be antisocial when you are here, and that's if you go to fika. And fika, it's like a coffee break, but more. It's like a coffee break for your soul. Like if I haven't seen my buddy for a while, hey, they want to have fika, and we know that, hey, we're gonna talk, we're gonna have some sweets, you know, maybe have some of the cinnamon rolls. Yes, the cinnamon rolls, coffee, hot chocolate, whatever you want to drink. But it's one of these kind of chillax moments you have, and you don't want to pass that up, because that's when you get a chance to really talk to people and they really open up. And you'd be surprised, once you get to know the Swedes, they're pretty cool, and they'll invite you. Like, that's where I've been invited to multiple people's homes here that I've met while I've been here, okay? And it's nice because you get to have this experience, you get to talk to them, and it's something that we don't have that in the US. Like, we might meet up with our buddy, but not like this, where it's much more of a in touch kind of break, kind of like I'm really resetting kind of thing. And you know, some people just call it fika when you're at work and just take a little break off in the afternoon for an afternoon coffee break, but it does have like a different connotation than just a coffee break. Now, another public service announcement I have for you for here in Stockholm: don't feed the seagulls. They suck. Just don't, okay? That's all I gotta say. Don't feed the seagulls. That's about it, all right? Now, another don't I have for you is if you wanna go to the clubs when you're here, don't expect the clubs to let you in all the time, because, well, they got face control. And if you don't look like the part to be in the club, they're not gonna let you in. You know how I said it wasn't really dangerous here? There is one danger I have to warn you about. Don't wander into the bike paths. Yeah, there's lots of bikes here, and they're very, very bikey. So watch out for them. Now, probably the time you feel the least safe when you are here in Sweden might be when you actually are getting service, because here in Sweden, the customer is not king, and Stockholm is the capital of the customer is not king in Sweden. So just know that you might get a little bit of indifferent service here. You're not really that important to them. I mean, you don't tip here anyway, so there's that as well, and that kind of impacts things. So don't expect over-the-top service. And also, don't expect it to be cheap. Stockholm is an expensive city to go to. Now, the rest of Sweden, significantly better, but Stockholm, man, your wallet hurts every single day. But honestly, this is a fantastic city. I hope you don't miss out on it. Whether you're going to see the City Hall, whether you're going to the Royal Palace, the Old Town, going out the islands, enjoying it all, Stockholm's a fantastic city. I've been visiting here since the 90s, and I've loved it every time. So what are some of the don'ts you have for people, or maybe do's, for coming to Stockholm? Put it down in the comments below so we can help other travelers enjoy this beautiful city. And I'll say bye from here in Sweden.